When I was 11, the first geography lesson I ever had, my English teacher, the geography teacher, Mr. McKnight, I was the only black person in the class. And he came in with a mango seed and he held it up and he said to everybody, does anybody know what this is? He held it up. Nobody knew. And then he qualified it by saying, but I know there's one person in the class that will. And I was looking around me and he said, me. Now, I grew up in a white family, so I didn't know what it was. And the shame and humiliation of not knowing what a mango seed was triggered me into wanting to find out the history that I'd never been shown. When I fast forward to my work in prisons, when I started when I was in my 20s, every time I went into a prison, the first thing black offenders say, Martin, I don't know who I am. That's when I first started to turn my attention to looking at the role of history within criminal justice. Marcus Garvey, the famous Marcus Garvey, said that an individual without knowledge of their history is like a tree without roots. Well, black Britons have no knowledge of the history that oppressed them, really, because they didn't write it, because they were oppressed. Same as women. So what I'm dealing with is, nobody really looks at history as a tool for healing, improving self-concept. I know if I can do some healing and build my self-concept, I can close the attainment gap in education. So therefore, the purpose behind the book, and there was a purpose, was not just to recycle events and activity. There is a clear purpose that when I've got white or black students, they engage with the uncomfortable reality that black people have to do the healing and white people have to confront not that they were directly involved, but their ancestors, like mine, created the conditions that's got them into this situation. So if you are working class and you trace your ancestors to the Industrial Revolution, your ancestors drove my ancestors' oppression. And coming from a mixed race background, I have that duality where my mother's family from Wales oppressed my father's family from Africa. And I have to live with that. If you're going to learn lessons from history, don't repeat the mistakes.